The first thing Yi Xiao did after his reincarnation was to invest his entire 2 billion assets into the game. Everyone thought Yi Xiao had gone mad. But what they didn't know was that this game would eventually descend into reality, and the attributes gained in the game would also affect his real body. For this, Yi Xiao didn't hesitate to sell all his assets and became the first player to recharge over 100 million. As the first player to recharge over 100 million, Yi Xiao received the unique hidden profession, God of Wealth. He also successfully obtained his first pet beast, a frog. Although this frog had no combat ability, it helped Yi Xiao quickly rise to become the world's #1. In the previous life, after the game descended, monsters ran wild, the world order collapsed, and the world became like hell. Yet, even in such chaotic times, the wealthiest playboy of Jiangsheng, Yi Xiao, still protected his fiancée, Qin Yinran, without hesitation. Yi Xiao not only spent a fortune hiring 10 top experts to help Qin Yinran level up, but also sold all his assets to buy her a legendary artifact. Whenever there was an opportunity or equipment, Yi Xiao always prioritized giving it to her. In this way, he poured his time, money, and effort into turning Qin Yinran, who knew nothing, into one of the divine-level experts of the Dragon Nation. Yi Xiao once thought that true love would be returned with true love. But little did he know, on the night of their engagement, she would personally rip out Yi Xiao's heart. Qin Yinran held the still-beating heart in her hand, looking down at him with disdain in her eyes. Yi Xiao, did you think money could buy my true heart? Did you think that by giving me resources, you could morally blackmail me? You're wrong. I accepted your gifts, but that doesn't mean I accepted your feelings. I'm not that cheap. All my accomplishments today are the result of my own hard work, step by step. The only person who understands my struggles in this world is Zhou Hong. Now, take your heart and give it to him. That way, when we're together, he'll be able to hear your heartbeat every day. Yi Xiao, are you moved now? At that moment, Yi Xiao's heart turned to ashes. No, Yi Xiao had no heart left. All those years of effort were just a one-sided wish. He thought he would die in pain and coldness, until fate intervened, giving Yi Xiao a second chance. When Yi Xiao opened his eyes again, he found himself back in the week before the game's arrival. At this moment, Qin Yinran looked at Yi Xiao with displeasure. Did you really think I needed your money? Let me tell you, Yi Xiao, I only took your money to spare your pride and face. Understand? If you don't let go, don't come looking for me again. Yi Xiao pulled himself out of his thoughts, glancing down at the bank card in his hand. It had 200,000 in it, the money he originally planned to give to Qin Yinran for her living expenses this month. Qin Yinran continued complaining. You have no idea the kind of torment I went through accepting your money. So many classmates said I was just after a rich second generation, but they have no idea I did it all for your good. Hearing this, Yi Xiao turned his head slightly and looked at her, thinking to himself, in my past life, I was such a fool. How could I fall for a woman like her? If it were the old Yi Xiao, hearing Qin Yinran say she didn't want to see him again, he would have panicked, tried to explain himself, and desperately found ways to make her accept the money. But now, Yi Xiao pushed her hand away and snapped, Get lost. I won't give you any more money. Not a single penny. Qin Yinran froze for a moment. Then she awkwardly said, Another one of your little tricks? Fine, I'll reluctantly accept your card this time, since you went through so much trouble. Yi Xiao calmly scolded her. Get lost. Now, immediately. Leave my sight. Hearing this, Qin Yinran shouted, Yi Xiao, how dare you talk to me like this? You'll regret it. Yi Xiao suddenly remembered that the shoes she was wearing were also bought by him. He raised her foot and took them off. Qin Yinran angrily cursed. Yi Xiao, don't think a couple of dirty pennies make you so great. You think this will make me submit to you? Remember what you've done. From now on, even if you kneel and beg me, I won't ever care about you again. Yi Xiao casually threw Qin Yinran's high heels into the trash can and coldly retorted, Well, thank heavens. I hope you never show up in front of me again. If you can back off, do it. Thinking back, I was such an idiot. How could I ever like someone like you? There was no time to deal with that green tea bitch anymore. Yi Xiao decided to settle things with her later. Right now, he had something more important to do, turning all his assets into cash and charging them into the game. According to the current timeline, the beta test of the Apocalypse game would begin in a week, and the recharge system would open briefly for the first 10 minutes. Yi Xiao had to gather enough funds before then. After returning home, Yi Xiao immediately called his cousin, Yi Lin, and told her that he planned to sell all his shares to her, with the condition that the deal must be completed within 5 days. Ever since Yi Xiao's parents died in an accident 10 years ago, the multi-billion-dollar company, Bolong, which they had built, was almost entirely divided up by relatives and friends. All that was left for Yi Xiao were a small portion of shares and assets that had been prearranged for him, totaling about 2 billion in value. Right now, the internal competition within the group was at its peak. Whoever got their hands on Yi Xiao's shares would hold the most power in the company. Therefore, Yi Xiao was sure that Yi Lin wouldn't hesitate for even a second. A week later, when the beta test of the Apocalypse game began, Yi Xiao immediately chose to enter the game. As a flash of white light engulfed him, Yi Xiao's consciousness was transported to the starting area of the game. His in-game name was the same as in his previous life. Yi Xiao chose Night Xiao. Next came the choice of profession. There were many starting professions in the Apocalypse game, such as warrior, knight, mage, and farmer. But Yi Xiao chose the most pay-to-win profession, Beastmaster. In his previous life, Yi Xiao had heard about a top-tier guild in the Great Xia Kingdom, who, relying on their numbers, offended a god-level Beastmaster. In retaliation, the Beastmaster brought his god-level pet, the Dark Wrath Dragon, and single-handedly wiped out the entire guild. Such a feat was beyond the reach of any other profession. However, while Beastmasters were powerful, their drawbacks were equally obvious. The cost of training and acquiring beasts was enormous, far beyond what an average player could afford. But for Yi Xiao, that wasn't even a consideration. After completing all the settings, Yi Xiao immediately clicked the recharge button without hesitation and pumped 2 billion into the game. Recharging so much money into the game would surely lead to others calling Yi Xiao crazy, but he knew this was a guaranteed profit. Congratulations! Because you are the first player to recharge over 100 million, the system has unlocked the unique hidden job reward. Upon recognizing the hidden profession, it has been automatically integrated. Congratulations, you have received your second profession, Wealth God. Before Yi Xiao could react, a flash of white light descended from the sky, and when the light faded, a frog appeared. The frog looked at Yi Xiao and said, "I didn't expect that the one to unlock me would be such a young kid. I am Ebisu, your wealth advisor." Hearing this, Yi Xiao was speechless. A frog is a wealth advisor? Do you think you're selling financial products? The frog then snapped its fingers, showcasing its attributes. Primary talent: wealth rolling in *LV1. The most basic ability of the wealth god is to generate wealth. The gold you carry on you increases by 1% every day. Penny Pincher LV1. As the wealth god, you refuse to suffer any losses. After death, the gold and items on you will not drop. Fortune Beyond Measure LV1. As the saying goes, money nurtures the body. With vast wealth, your luck is exceptional, increasing your luck value by 50. Unmatched Charisma LV1. Even the ugliest person can suddenly look handsome if they are generous. You are full of charm, with a charisma value increase of 50. Wealth God's Power LV1. As a wealth god, you also possess divine power. For every 1 million gold spent, a random attribute point is added, with a daily cap of 100. Yi Xiao read the panel information and was stunned. As expected of a hidden class, it had so many talents. Though none of them seemed directly combat-oriented, each one was a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Especially the wealth rolling in talent, which increases the gold you carry by 1% every day. With Yi Xiao's current 2 billion gold, he'd gain an additional 2 million gold every day. Then there's Wealth God's Power, where he could earn 20 attribute points every day for free. What does that even mean? This Wealth God class is way too OP. Suppressing his excitement, Yi Xiao immediately clicked to enter the newbie village. He was immediately teleported to newbie village number 9527, Flower Language Plains. In the Apocalypse game, players are randomly generated and a small number are born directly in the wild. Yi Xiao originally planned to find some small monsters to level up, but what he encountered was a large group of goblins, and they were level 5 goblin elite warriors. Level 5 elite warriors? How unlucky can I be? With Yi Xiao's current strength, should I fight or flee? The frog yelled, "Fight my ass, run. What are you waiting for?" The frog reacted quickly, darting away as soon as Yi Xiao froze in shock. Yi Xiao, seeing this, quickly followed, hastily running toward the main city. Just as they entered the city, a group of players cast strange glances at Yi Xiao. Someone really chose the Beast Master class? Yeah, I never expected it. And the beast is a frog. Ha! This Beast Master is hilarious. He tamed a frog. Hearing these mocking words, Yi Xiao immediately retorted angrily. Your beast is a frog. Your whole family is a frog. Yi Xiao, ignoring the players, walked straight into the heart of the main city. While the main city had plenty of beast masters for sale, Yi Xiao found them utterly uninteresting. This was because Yi Xiao's true goal was a hidden dungeon in the newbie village, where a dragon's lair contained a god-tier beast egg. Of course, with Yi Xiao's current strength, recklessly entering would be suicidal, so he needed to make some preparations. Soon, Yi Xiao arrived in front of a magnificent palace, the Supreme Hall. It was a powerful faction in the Apocalypse, with countless god-tier NPCs. After reaching level 100, players could unlock the final job promotion and obtain a letter of introduction from the city lord, granting them the ability to hire these powerful NPCs. Yi Xiao was still at level 1, so naturally, he was stopped by the gatekeeper, a grand archmage. "Young man, this is not a place for you. Go back and train. Only after you receive the city lord's letter of introduction will the doors of the Supreme Hall open for you." Yi Xiao smiled faintly. "Although I don't have the introduction letter, dear Grand Archmage, it seems you lost something a while ago. I'm here to return it to you." With a wave of his hand, countless shining gold coins cascaded from the sky, forming a golden waterfall that quickly piled into a small mountain in front of him. The sight made the Grand Archmage's eyes light up. "Ah, now that you mention it, I did lose quite a few gold coins some time ago. Thank you for bringing them back to me. The Supreme VIP room is on the top floor. Please follow me." As expected, money worked wonders. Yi Xiao smiled knowingly. Yi Xiao quickly walked into the hall. On both sides of the hall, there were numerous night puppets around level 100. Just having one would be enough to dominate the newbie village, but these still failed to catch Yi Xiao's eye. Yi Xiao walked straight into the depths of the hall, soon reaching a bloodthirsty warrior clad in armor. Yi Xiao immediately said to him, "I need to hire a god-tier guard." The Blood Fury warrior was momentarily stunned. A god-tier guard is incredibly precious. How could it be rented out? Yi Xiao calmly waved his finger. 1 billion per day. Upon hearing that amount, the warrior's mind went blank. After a moment, he snapped out of it, pondered for a bit, and said, "In principle, that's not possible, but rules are made by people. I happen to know a god-tier sorcerer who might be able to help." A god-tier sorcerer has the strongest versatility, combining protection, defense, and attack capabilities. For Yi Xiao at his current level, this was undoubtedly the best choice. After signing the contract and completing the payment, the Blood Fury warrior summoned the god-tier sorcerer. In the next moment, a red light flashed, and the seductive sorceress appeared in the hall. "I am the sorceress, Tori. According to the contract, from now on, for the next 24 hours, I am at your disposal. Speak. What do you need? I'll fulfill all your requests." Yi Xiao briefly checked her information, but found that there were no details available. "Greetings, senior. Yi Xiao has hired you mainly to challenge a very difficult dungeon." Tori smiled lightly, not particularly concerned. "What difficult dungeons are there in the newbie village? Do you want to kill the Goblin King or the entire family? I can take care of them with a wave of my hand." "No time to waste, let's get going," Yi Xiao said, not wasting any more time, and led her out of the Supreme Hall. With limited time, every second counted. On the way to the dragon's lair, they coincidentally ran into the goblin warriors that had been chasing Yi Xiao earlier. Torai calmly extended her hand and flicked her finger, casting a fireball spell. In an instant, the goblins were engulfed by terrifying damage values. Seeing this, Yi Xiao couldn't help but exclaim, "This damage, it's like calling someone and hitting their home." A few players, who were being chased by goblin warriors, were also stunned. Did I see that correctly? Is that person accompanied by a sorceress? The damage is insane. They must have hired a high-level NPC. That sorceress is beautiful. After the goblin warriors were taken care of, a series of system notifications sounded. Ding! Congratulations! Your level has successfully risen to LV10, and you have gained attribute points that can be freely allocated. Ding! You are 9527, the first player in the newbie village to reach level 10. You are rewarded with attribute points. World announcement. Player Yi Xiao has successfully leveled up to LV10, and the level leaderboard is now open. The announcement echoed in every player's mind, ringing 3 times before stopping. At this moment, all players participating in the Apocalypse beta test, no matter who they were or what they were doing, stopped in their tracks, their eyes filled with shock. It's barely been a day, and someone's already level 10? On the world leaderboard, aside from Yi Xiao, the rest of the board was completely empty. There were only 6 hours left until the official start of the Apocalypse, and the vast majority of players were still stuck at level 1. Even the top players, relying on their ghostly movements and superb skills, were only at level 3, with their experience still not halfway to the next level. Also, Yi Xiao was a name none of them had ever heard before. It seemed another strong competitor had emerged. It was getting exciting. At this time, Yi Xiao was unaware of the thoughts of other players, as he and Tori made their way to the dragon's lair. Yi Xiao stood before a large rock and gently pressed his hand against it. With a rumble, the rock immediately trembled, and a massive surge of energy exploded, shattering the rock into pieces. A dark hole appeared before Yi Xiao, and a system notification sounded. Ding! You have entered the hidden area, Dragon's Lair. This area is extremely dangerous. Please leave immediately. In the previous timeline, someone had triggered a level 100 hidden quest to explore the Dragon's Lair. After successfully returning to the newbie village, they discovered this mysterious hidden dungeon. Unfortunately, the berserker who found the dungeon couldn't clear it and even died inside. Though according to the video recordings he sent out, the dungeon contained an incredibly precious dragon egg, which attracted countless players, but no one had ever succeeded in clearing the quest. As a result, the Dragon's Lair came to be known as an impossible hidden dungeon. After hearing Yi Xiao's story, Tori's face was filled with surprise. You're not trying to steal the dragon egg, are you? Don't tell me you're messing with me. Even I don't have absolute confidence in defeating a dragon. Yi Xiao chuckled and flattered her. Look, it's just a dragon over there. Master Tori, the mighty sorceress, can take it down in seconds. It's no big deal. Torai looked over and immediately froze in place. It was a 5th-tier sacred judgment, Radiant Dragon. A 3rd-tier dragon could destroy an entire guild, but this sacred judgment dragon was one of the most elite beings among dragons. We don't even have a 1/10, 0.000 chance of winning. I'm out of here. I'm retreating first. Seeing her about to leave, Yi Xiao hurriedly spoke. Sister Tori, I'll double the commission. Torai waved her hand and sighed helplessly. It won't make a difference. It's not that I don't want the commission, I just can't beat it. Yi Xiao pleaded eagerly. Triple the commission, just help me stall for 3 minutes. Once the time is up, you can run. Torai hesitated for a moment, then finally gave in to the money. All right, I'll risk my life for it. I'll stall it for you. I'm all in, but I can only give you 3 minutes. With that, Tori waved her hand, casting several buffs on Yi Xiao. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Life. Your health attribute is doubled. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Agility. Your agility attribute is doubled. Ding. You have received the blessing of the God of Strength. Your strength attribute is doubled. As they got close to the dragon, the massive creature, over 100 meters long, opened its eyes. In the next moment, The entire lair began to shake violently, and a loud dragon roar echoed through the sky. Torai leapt into the air and unleashed a prepared skill. Freezing arrow. She shouted, "You vile creature, if it were any other time, I'd show you some mercy, but for these 3 minutes, even a dragon must kneel." Freezing arrows rained down, bombarding the dragon. The beast immediately entered a state of fury. Taking advantage of the momentary distraction, Yi Xiao sprinted ahead and reached the deepest part of the lair. It was a small cave where a dragon egg, half the size of a person, stood in the center, surrounded by a faint glow. Yi Xiao gently touched the dragon egg, silently praying, "Please don't let it notice me, or my life will be over in an instant." Just then, Tori's urgent shout came from not far away. "1.5 minutes left. I can barely hold on." Upon hearing this, Yi Xiao picked up the dragon egg, but with his limited strength, he sighed, "This dragon egg really is heavy." He then shouted, "Frog, give me a hand." The frog, hands in its pockets, replied, "I've never done this kind of sneaky business before." No sooner had the words left his mouth than a tremendous oppressive force suddenly descended upon them. Yi Xiao quickly looked up and realized the dragon had spotted him. "Run!" Yi Xiao no longer had the luxury of being cautious. He clutched the dragon egg and sprinted toward the cave entrance. Fortunately, the dragon was still tangled up with Tori, so it couldn't attack Yi Xiao for now. However, at this point, Tori was already at her limit. Enraged, the dragon unleashed its innate skill, Dragon Flame Breath. Watching Yi Xiao successfully run out of the cave, Tori's face turned pale. She immediately gave up the fight and followed him. The dragon relentlessly chased after them, constantly spewing dragon flame, but it seemed that due to the barrier, it couldn't leave the entrance of the cave. In the end, Yi Xiao and the others successfully stole the dragon egg without any major incidents. Tori's eyes were unfocused as she gasped for air, nearly drained of all her magic, and muttered, "You little brat, if this dragon egg hatches into a 5th stage dragon, then it will have been worth all the trouble I went through. By the way, don't forget to transfer the commission." Yi Xiao opened the trade window without hesitation and transferred the commission. "Thanks for your hard work, Master Tori. 300 million gold coins. All yours." Torai was overjoyed. Even as a god-level being, earning 300 million gold coins wasn't that easy. Ding! Tori's affection for you has increased. Current affection level, 60. Yi Xiao immediately looked at the dragon egg he had stolen with such difficulty, silently praying. Now came the moment for the contract. He hoped nothing bizarre would hatch, or else the 300 million gold would be wasted. Success or failure rested on this. Yi Xiao placed his hand gently on the dragon egg, initiating the contract. The shell immediately cracked open. Then, a faintly blue-hued dragon hatchling emerged, its size not very large, measuring only about half a meter in length. Seeing the dragon hatchling, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel puzzled. The color seems off. Could it be that the radiant dragon has been given a disguise? Yi Xiao hurriedly checked the hatchling's attributes, only to be stunned by what he saw. This seemingly insignificant little creature was actually a mythical level sky dragon. Not only did it have all 500 attribute points maxed out right from the start, but it also possessed several terrifying talents and skills. This wasn't just a pet. This was like carrying a living boss. It's no exaggeration to say that even if every player in the apocalypse gathered together right now, they still wouldn't be enough to take on this little guy. After reading the stats, Yi Xiao couldn't help but grin widely. The hatchling's growth potential was beyond measure. If it grew to adulthood, its destructive power would be unimaginable. Yi Xiao walked up to the little creature and gently rubbed its head. Seeing its dim gray appearance, he decided, from now on, you'll be called Little Gray. Luckily, it seemed very friendly toward Yi Xiao and didn't resist. At that moment, Yi Xiao noticed a badge in Frog's hand, seemingly picked up from the dragon's lair. Yi Xiao grabbed it and began to examine it closely. Savage Chapter Tier. Celestial Annihilation Base Attribute Bonus. Plus 10% to all attributes. Unique Passive Skill, Savage Strength. The holder of the Savage chapter gains supreme power, with all skills capable of triggering critical hits. Base critical hit rate increased by 20%, and critical damage increased by 100%. Skill, Savage Execution, draws on the power of the Savage chapter to deal 1000% true mental damage to the target. If the target's HP is below 20%, this effect is guaranteed to trigger. Cooldown, 10 days. Yi Xiao stopped breathing as he read the attributes of the badge. This was ridiculously powerful. It was the first time Yi Xiao had ever seen such a level of item, a Celestial Annihilation tier equipment that was only found in Legends. Without hesitation, Yi Xiao equipped the badge on himself, despite Frog's protests. System notification. You have triggered the hidden quest, the Forbidden Executor. Even the mighty Savage King could not escape the annihilation of the Abyss. As the holder of the Savage chapter, you must seek the truth. Quest objective. Find the Savage Fong. Yi Xiao paused when he heard the notification. What is the Savage Fong? I've never heard of it. Torai, on the other hand, seemed to know something about it. She told Yi Xiao, it's a god-tier assassin's dagger, made from the teeth of the abyssal beast. It's known as one of the weapons with the highest burst potential. It seems the Savage chapter and the Savage Fong are connected in some way. The Savage Fong is probably still in the abyssal continent. You'll need to leave the newbie village first to continue the quest. As soon as she finished speaking, a prompt rang out. Player Yi Xiao, your daily game time limit has been reached. You will be forcefully logged out. Realizing Yi Xiao was about to leave, Tori chuckled and said, I didn't expect a hidden dungeon in the newbie village to take this long. Well, I'll head back to the Supreme Hall for now. If you need anything, just find me. Make sure to have enough gold, though. Alright, Tori, see you later. After bidding farewell to Tori, Yi Xiao logged out of the game. Since Doomsday was still in the beta phase and hadn't fully merged with the real world yet, Yi Xiao needed to rest. His body couldn't handle much more. Once offline, Yi Xiao opened his computer and browsed the game community. At this moment, Doomsday had taken the top spot with discussion soaring. The ultimate experience of a virtual world with freedom had attracted countless players. At the same time, numerous posts about Yi Xiao's identity had started circulating, with everyone speculating who Yi Xiao really was. Just then, Yi Xiao's phone suddenly received a message from Qin Yinran. Yi Xiao, I'm giving you a chance. Come to Beihua Hospital now and bring some food for Zhou Hong. He's hospitalized. Also, pay his medical bills. As for the previous matter, let's pretend it never happened. Yi Xiao mumbled, damn, almost forgot. Frustrated, he immediately blocked and deleted all contact information for Qin Yinran. Meanwhile, at Beihua Hospital, Zhou Hong, lying in his bed, looked at Qin Yinran with a teasing tone. Yi Xiao loves you to the bone. The moment you speak, he'll definitely come running. At that moment, the doctor entered the room and said to them, patient in room 17, you can be discharged early. You need to settle the bills now. This hospital has a surge of organ failure patients, all of whom, like you, are here because they played a game called Doomsday. We're facing a shortage of beds. Qin Yinran, hearing this, shouted angrily. What do you mean? Bed shortage? Are the lives of us poor people worthless? Zhou Hong waved his hand, frowning. Enough, Yinran. Stop yelling. This game is no joke. I'm planning to discharge and continue playing. You have the money, so go ahead and pay my hospital bills for now. Qin Yinran spoke weakly. I don't have any money. Yi Xiao didn't give me my allowance this month. Zhou Hong was taken aback, his eyes widening in shock. What? Didn't Yi Xiao give you 200,000 every month? Qin Yinran looked aggrieved. How would I know? He just has a little bit of money. Does he really think that by spending money, he can win me over? I feel disgusted every time I see him. Zhou Hong patiently tried to console her. Yinran, send Yi Xiao another message. Ask him for some money. I'm planning to start a Doomsday game studio, and this amount isn't much for him, but it's really important for us. Qin Yinran nodded smugly. Don't worry. When he comes, I'll just say a few nice words, and Yi Xiao will happily give us the money. However, they had no idea that Yi Xiao was completely uninterested in them. and was sound asleep in bed. It wasn't until the next day that he finally got up and entered the game. Unlike the quiet atmosphere the day before, 9527 Newbie Village was now bustling with players, all drawn in by the heated discussions about the game on the forums. Level 1 area leveling 3-1, missing a priest. Don't come if you have no game experience. A priest, Glory Guild's top players are leading a team, currently an 8-1 elite group, level 2 and above players. Come here. The shouts echoed everywhere, and the village was several times more lively than before. Except for a few extremely confident experts, most players were too afraid to level alone and chose to team up for efficiency. Looking at all this, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel that this was the true state of the Doomsday game. Damn, the number 1 in the 10th level leaderboard. How the hell did this guy level up so fast? Bro, want to team up? We have tons of pretty girls here. Super gorgeous, can you take us along? I'll even show you my black stockings. As soon as Yi Xiao appeared, it caused an uproar. Although Yi Xiao deliberately wore a veil to hide his face, the glaring level 10 mark above his head still made hundreds of players send friend requests, and his screen was soon filled with a flood of requests. Looking at the overwhelming requests, Yi Xiao immediately felt a headache and hurriedly ran toward the city gates. He had to level up quickly and get out of the Newbie Village. Seeing him act with such urgency, a few players immediately followed. Quick, follow the expert. He knows where to level up fast. Yi Xiao, accompanied by the little baby dragon and the frog, swiftly ran toward the outskirts of the village, with players hoping to tag along for the experience trailing behind them. However, the area Yi Xiao was heading to had monsters as strong as level 5 elite mobs. Once these monsters locked onto someone, there was almost no chance of survival. As a result, no one dared to take the risk, and they could only watch Yi Xiao's back as he got further away, feeling powerless. Watching as the players behind him were gradually left behind, Yi Xiao finally arrived at the trial temple. This was the place where players would undergo the level 10 ascension trial. A guard in silver armor stood in front of the temple. The guard looked at Yi Xiao with surprise, seemingly not expecting a player to reach level 10 so quickly, and asked, "Where are your teammates?" Yi Xiao shook his head and replied, "I don't need teammates. I'm going to do the trial alone." The guard furrowed his brow. "Young man, I must remind you that even the easiest ascension trial is far beyond what you can imagine. Don't waste your life." Yi Xiao smiled slightly and waved his hand. "Don't worry, I've got plenty of life left." Seeing Yi Xiao's determination, the guard stopped speaking and said, "Well then, adventurer, please choose the difficulty of your trial." As soon as he finished speaking, a virtual panel appeared before Yi Xiao, displaying several options: normal, hard, nightmare, purgatory, abyss. Yi Xiao calmly extended his hand, and his index finger finally landed on the last option, abyss. The next second, the teleportation array hummed and activated, a flash of white light enveloping him, and Yi Xiao was instantly transported to a dense forest. Scanning the surroundings, Yi Xiao quickly summoned Xiao Hui. Although Xiao Hui wasn't very large yet, it was a mythic tier beast, and its small size actually made Yi Xiao feel safer. Just as Yi Xiao entered the dense forest with Xiao Hui, the next moment, with a roar, a massive figure suddenly blocked his path. It was the brutal snow wolf, level 10, with unknown attributes and skills, a strange creature from the abyss. It had the power to destroy anything. Seeing it lock its gaze on Yi Xiao, he couldn't help but feel a tightness in his chest. To his surprise, he encountered a mutated snow wolf right at the start. This was beyond exciting. With 5,000 health points, even an assassin wouldn't stand a chance. Just with these terrifying stats, it could easily annihilate a full silver-equipped level 10 elite team. And who knew what kind of twisted skills this creature might have? The most despairing part was the word strange in its name, meaning the brutal snow wolf was an aberrant creature. If a player were killed by it, their real-life life would be erased. Yi Xiao quickly issued an order to Xiao Hui to deal with it. Xiao Hui, already itching for a fight, instantly became a blur in the air and appeared in front of the brutal snow wolf. Though Xiao Hui appeared tiny compared to the nearly 2-meter-tall wolf, as a mythic tier beast and a celestial dragon, it naturally had the advantage in confronting this massive wolf. Xiao Hui opened its mouth and spewed out a wave of scorching flame. Immediately, a red damage number floated above the brutal snow wolf's head. Taking advantage of the situation, Xiao Hui swung its dragon claws, leaving behind several afterimages. With a skill combo, the brutal snow wolf's health dropped drastically, leaving it with less than half its health. But at that moment, the brutal snow wolf's eyes suddenly turned red, its fur bristling as it entered a berserk state. The rapid health drop triggered its rage mode, greatly increasing all of its attributes and doubling its health regeneration speed. Just in time, Yi Xiao immediately instructed Xiao Hui, "Unleash Dragon's Might." Xiao Hui let out a skyward howl, though its voice was somewhat high-pitched. The forced 1.5-second stun effect broke the brutal snow wolf's berserk state. Seizing the brief moment of control, Xiao Hui spat out another fiery blast, dealing terrifying damage that brought the mutated boss to the ground. From start to finish, the brutal snow wolf never had a chance to unleash its skills. It wasn't that it wasn't strong, but the combination of the dragon breath from a long range and dragon's might was simply too overpowered. Congratulations, you have successfully killed the mutated boss brutal snow wolf. Your pet Xiao Hui has reached level 4. Seeing the notification, Yi Xiao couldn't help but feel elated. He then opened Xiao Hui's stats panel. The massive experience from killing the 10-level mutated boss had caused Xiao Hui to level up 4 times, with an exaggerated increase in stats, and even unlocked a new skill, Dragon Fangs. After closing the stats panel, Yi Xiao walked over to the brutal snow wolf's corpse and found that his luck was good. In addition to over 1,000 gold coins, 2 pieces of equipment had dropped: Blood Wolf Fong Dagger, Dark Gold Tier, Effect Unidentified; Snow Wolf Bow, Dark Gold Tier, Effect Unidentified. Yi Xiao grinned. 2 pieces of Dark Gold Tier equipment. Seemed like the mutated bosses did indeed have quite a lot of good loot. Just as he was about to put the equipment into his storage space, a jet black tiger suddenly jumped out from the dense forest. It was also an aberrant mutated boss, and its attributes were even stronger than the brutal snow wolf's. Yi Xiao hurriedly gave the command, "Xiao Hui, go." At Yi Xiao's command, Xiao Hui fearlessly charged towards the black tiger, ready to face this new battle. Exhausted, Yi Xiao slumped onto the ground, letting out a long sigh. "If I knew it'd be this tiring, I wouldn't have soloed this dungeon. My legs are about to give out." But his efforts weren't in vain. His inventory now held 2 new pieces of equipment: Spike Tiger Shield and Obsidian Blade. Lai Hama glanced at the gear and grinned. "These will fetch a nice pile of gold if you sell them back in town." However, Yi Xiao shook his head firmly. "Not going back. The trial boss is just up ahead, and I came here to take it down." 234. Lai Hama was stunned. "You're joking, right? Sure, you've killed a lot of monsters, but Xiao Hui is only level 7. Are you really sure you can handle a boss?" Without hesitation, Yi Xiao pressed forward, heading straight for the corrupted boss's lair. In his previous life's abyssal trial, the final boss was only a Lord-tier enemy. With Xiao Hui's current strength, plus his own support, taking down a Lord-tier boss would be an effortless feat. Standing before the massive stone doors, Yi Xiao paused for a moment, took a deep breath, and slowly pushed them open. Creak! The heavy stone doors groaned as they slowly parted, releasing an icy breath that rushed toward him. A dimly lit corridor stretched into the abyss, its oppressive aura suffocating. Ding! Warning, adventurer. You have fallen into the abyss. Current area is extremely dangerous. Leave immediately. The sharp, piercing system alert rang repeatedly, echoing like a forbidden zone alarm, warning of an imminent threat. Yi Xiao ignored it, pressing forward through the shadowy corridor until he reached the grand hall at its end. He lifted his gaze, his expression unreadable, and murmured, "In my past life, I, a proud man, was shackled by love and emotion. But in this life, the abyss's emissary, the strongest force of the apocalypse, will be me, Yi Xiao. Come, Let me embrace the abyss to the fullest. Boom! Upon the throne, a slumbering figure suddenly opened its eyes. Pitch-black pupils, like devouring black holes, unleashed an overwhelming pressure that engulfed the entire Grand Hall. Abyssal Wanderer King Tier Boss. Level 10. Physique 5000. Spirit 5000. Innate ability. Unknown skills. Unknown. Yi Zhao's pupils shrank, his expression shifting in his past life. This was merely a Lord Tier boss, but now it had become a King Tier 5000 spirit, purely a magic-based entity with strength and agility, both at 0. That meant it had no normal attacks, but if even a single one of its spells landed, death was certain. Yi Zhao quickly regained his composure, his mind racing as he formulated a battle strategy. Xiao Hui, don't use your skills recklessly. Wait for my command at all times. This thing is incredibly slow, but if it lands a hit, it's an instant kill. Keep moving and never stay in one place too long. Xiao Hui let out a low growl, its eyes burning with battle intent. This proud little dragon beast usually carried an air of indifference, but in battle, it was unwaveringly obedient, never slacking for a moment. In the next instant, Xiao Hui erupted into action, launching a full-speed charge toward the Abyssal Wanderer. Meanwhile, Yi Zhao stood on the sidelines, directing Xiao Hui to weave around the Wanderer in rapid, unpredictable movements. He repeatedly instructed Xiao Hui, never let the Wanderer successfully cast a skill. His strategy was clear. Use speed and agility to wear down the colossal opponent. Suddenly, the Wanderer stopped turning and slowly tilted its head, locking its icy gaze directly onto Yi Zhao. A chilling glint flickered in its eyes. Yi Zhao's heart tensed. He instantly realized it. The Wanderer had completely ignored Xiao Hui and set its sights on him instead. Raising its scepter, the Wanderer's vast soul energy surged through the air. It was about to attack Yi Zhao directly. Both Yi Zhao and Lai Hama immediately noticed the danger and wasted no time dodging out of the way. Yi Zhao realized that the Wanderer's attacks were solely focused on him. While dodging frantically, he shouted, "Xiao Hui, do something! Help me!" Under the relentless barrage of attacks, Yi Zhao could barely hold on. "Damn it, I can't take this much longer." Seeing its master under siege, Xiao Hui let out a furious roar, its eyes blazing with unbridled rage. With a powerful lunge, it opened its massive jaws, unleashing all of its accumulated dragon breath, a raging inferno of flames surging straight at the Abyssal Wanderer. Boom! A devastating explosion rocked the battlefield as massive critical damage numbers erupted. The Wanderer let out an agonized shriek, its enormous body trembling violently. Its HP bar finally hit 0. Amidst the roaring flames, its form gradually crumbled, before crashing to the ground in utter defeat. Ding, congratulations! You have successfully slain the Abyssal Trial Boss. The Wanderer, your beast, Xiao Hui, has leveled up to level 10. Ding! As the first adventurer to clear the Abyssal Trial, you have been awarded +5 to all attributes. A pleasant system notification rang in Yi Zhao's ears. He let out a long breath, finally releasing the tension in his chest. Now that the danger had passed, he had time to bicker with Lai Hama again. He smirked. "You coward! You were running for your life just now." Lai Hama shot back. "Coward? You ran faster than me." Jokes aside, Yi Zhao quickly strode toward the Wanderer's corpse, eager to see what loot had dropped. At the same time, the game system broadcasted a worldwide global announcement. Player Yi Zhao from the Great Xia Nation has successfully cleared the Abyssal Tier Advancement Trial, becoming the first ever adventurer to complete this challenge. He has been awarded the legendary title, Emissary of the Abyss. Countless players froze in shock, their minds unable to process what they had just heard. Advancement Trial? What the hell is that? No way. This is a worldwide first clear announcement. Wait, someone actually cleared a trial? And it was Abyss Tier? A player who achieved the first global clear is from Great Xia? One player turned to his companion and muttered, He's the only one on the leaderboard. This guy isn't ordinary. Xiao Qi, dig up some info on him. The player known as Xiao Qi quickly analyzed the data, pinpointing player ID 9527 from the novice village and deducing that Yi Xiao was from Jiangxing. Upon hearing this, the man's expression shifted, and he immediately commanded his subordinates, "Send people to Jiangxing. Find out everything you can about him." Zhou Hong was staring at the world rankings, slapping his thigh in excitement. Holy shit, it's only the second day, and someone's already reached level 10. And they're from our novice village? If we can get close to this pro, we'll be set for life. Once we get strong enough, even rich secondants like Yi Xiao will have to look up to us. After speaking, Zhou Hong suddenly remembered something and frowned. Wait, didn't I tell you to contact Yi Xiao? Get him to help us level up. He's rich and a gaming expert. Qin Yanran sneered, casually flipping her hair. You go if you want. I couldn't care less. I'm not that desperate. She grabbed Zhou Hong's hand excitedly. Forget about Yi Xiao. This is our time together, and I've never played a game before. Hurry up and show me how to play. Zhou Hong sighed helplessly, eventually nodding in agreement, all the while thinking about how he could level up quickly. Meanwhile, Yi Xiao stared at the item in his hand, completely dumbfounded. No way. After all that effort, and all I get is this tiny fragment. System notification. You have obtained Abyssal Stone Fragment grade. Unknown, unidentifiable. Yi Xiao frowned, feeling puzzled. In his past life, he had never even heard of this item. Still, he didn't dwell on it. He could always figure it out later. Right now, he had cleared the trial, which meant he could finally leave the novice village and head to the main city. The gatekeeper's eyes widened in shock when he saw Yi Xiao walk out unharmed. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Someone actually solo cleared the trial, and it was Abyss tier. Yi Xiao, unfazed, simply said, "Cut the chatter. Contact the main city. I'm leaving this novice village." The gatekeeper wasted no time and immediately contacted the main city as instructed. He then spoke respectfully. "Honored warrior, congratulations on completing the trial. You are now granted the guidance token, allowing you to freely enter and exit the main city. Furthermore, as a reward for completing the Abyss tier advancement trial, you are eligible to receive an epic tier item, Badge of Valor. Badge of Valor, epic tier, a symbol of true bravery, only awarded to those who clear Hell tier trials. This is the highest honor in the Empire. Base attributes plus 20 charm plus 3 valor's might. Passive. Activates when HP drops below 30%, increasing strength by 10% for 1 minute. With his new rewards in hand, Yi Xiao, along with Xiao Hui and Lai Hama, finally stepped into the main city. Before long, he arrived at a new area, Windleaf City. Looking around the nearly empty city square, Yi Xiao sighed, so quiet. In my past life, this place was packed with hundreds of players just waiting in line. Getting here early really does make a difference. He made up his mind to find the beast taming master, Gerard. Lai Hama was puzzled. You're already a beast tamer. Why do you need to see the master? Yi Xiao didn't answer directly. Instead, he smirked mysteriously. You'll find out soon enough. Before long, he located beast taming master Gerard and spoke firmly. Master, I wish to change my class. However, Gerard impatiently waved him off. Looking to change classes? Go bother someone else, kid. Don't waste my time. But Yi Xiao stood his ground, his voice firm. I want to switch to the hidden class, Beast Speaker. That's something not just anyone can achieve. Gerard's sharp gaze locked onto him, his tone turning serious. You think just anyone can become a Beast Speaker? Prove your worth. Outside the city, those damn demon wolves. Bring me 100 of their eyes, then we'll talk. Ding. Gerard has issued the quest, Eyes of the Demon Wolf. Kill 100 elite class monsters, Gale demon wolves, and bring their eyes back to Gerard. Lai Hama looked shocked and asked, How the hell did you know there was a hidden class quest here? Glancing at the system notification, Yi Xiao simply smirked and replied coolly, I'm not dumb enough to waste time killing 100 elite monsters. Hearing this, Gerard sneered. Useless coward. If you can't even handle this, then get lost and stop wasting my time. Yi Xiao, unfazed by the insult, merely smiled. I don't need to kill demon wolves. I have something that proves my strength. With a casual motion, he pulled out the epic tier item, Badge of Valor. Gerard's expression froze, his pupils shrinking as shock flashed across his face. His attitude changed instantly as he exclaimed, "Unbelievable! Someone so young actually cleared a Hell Tier advancement trial?" Yi Xiao chuckled and corrected him. "Wrong. This is an Epic Tier Badge of Valor. Not Hell Tier, Abyss Tier." Gerard raised an eyebrow. "How big was your team? Clearing an Abyss Tier trial isn't something just anyone can do." Yi Xiao smirked proudly. "Just one person, me? No teammates." Gerard immediately put on an exaggerated look of admiration. "Ah, as expected, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I knew you were a dragon among men, an absolute prodigy." Lai Hama rolled his eyes hard, thinking this guy changes his tone faster than flipping a page. Yi Xiao, however, wasn't about to let it slide. He crossed his arms and sneered. "Oh, first impression, huh? Weren't you just calling me a worthless nobody who didn't qualify for Beast Speaker?" Gerard let out an awkward chuckle before carefully adding, "Actually, I have a small request. I'd love to see what kind of beast could possibly pass an Abyss Tier trial." Without hesitation, Yi Xiao nodded and summoned Xiao Hui. The moment Xiao Hui appeared, Gerard froze in sheer shock, his eyes widening in disbelief. He never imagined he'd witness a divine tier beast with his own eyes. And not just any beast, but a young dragon. This was beyond his wildest dreams. But Yi Xiao was more concerned with his class change. He immediately asked, "So, can I officially become a beast speaker today?" Gerard, however, shook his head solemnly. "Not today. Beast Speaker isn't worthy of a beast like yours. Instead, I'll introduce you to someone who is the Royal Chief Beast Tamer." With that, Gerard handed Yi Xiao a recommendation letter. "Follow the address written here. Head to the royal capital and meet the Royal Chief Beast Tamer. He'll give you the real answer." As Yi Xiao took the letter, a system notification popped up. "Ding. You have triggered the hidden class quest, Whispers of the Dragon. Objective: travel to the royal capital and find the Royal Chief Beast Tamer." Lai Hama let out a long sigh and shook his head. "Damn, you lucky bastard. A hidden class? Seriously?" But Yi Xiao frowned slightly. The Royal Chief Beast Tamer was in the royal capital, a place far from here, and right now, he had more pressing matters to take care of. Lai Hama curiously asked, "What are you off to do now?" Yi Xiao smirked. "To complete another hidden quest." Lai Hama was astonished. "How the hell do you know about so many hidden quests?" Before long, Yi Xiao led Lai Hama to an extravagant castle where they finally met the person he was looking for. The moment Lai Hama saw the woman before them, his first thought was, "Wait, you're not seriously planning to sell your..." Yi Xiao rolled his eyes and cut him off. "Shut up. This is Lady Shirelli, the widow of the former city lord, a wealthy and charming noblewoman." Just as Yi Xiao prepared to approach, he was stopped by the guards. Unfazed, he spoke respectfully. "Honorable Lady Shirelli, why do you always seem troubled? Have you encountered some difficulty? Perhaps I can assist you." Lady Shirelli sighed softly and said, "Indeed, I've lost something of great personal importance. If you can retrieve it for me, I would be deeply grateful." Without hesitation, Yi Xiao accepted the quest, and a system notification appeared. "Ding. You have received Lady Shirelli's request. Retrieve the beautiful flower for her." Logically, the flower should be somewhere in the garden or outside the city. But instead of heading there, Yi Xiao wandered aimlessly around the city with Lai Hama. Confused, Lai Hama frowned. "Aren't we supposed to be looking for a flower? Why are we just roaming the city?" Yi Xiao gave a knowing smile. "The flower Lady Shirelli wants isn't just any ordinary flower." Without hesitation, Yi Xiao headed straight to the item shop, confidently stating, "The flower Lady Shirelli wants is here." He entered the shop and asked the clerk, "Do you sell treasure boxes?" The clerk smiled warmly. "A customer with an eye for quality." Our treasure boxes may contain prehistoric dragon bones, epic tier staffs. What price range are you looking for? Yi Xiao waved his hand nonchalantly. The most expensive one. The clerk's eyes gleamed as he retrieved the shop's highest tier treasure box. One costs 10,000 gold coins. But Yi Xiao merely shook his head. One isn't enough. With a flick of his wrist, he tossed a hefty pouch of gold onto the counter. I'll take them all. Every high-tier treasure box you have. The clerk stood frozen for a moment, but Yi Xiao urged impatiently. Didn't hear me? I said all of them. Open every single one. Obliging. The clerk handed over the first box. Yi Xiao flipped it open. A bronze-tier twin-bladed axe lay inside. He opened another, this time a large healing potion. Another one. Inside was A-size enhancing bread. Half an hour later, he had opened 99 boxes. The clerk hesitated before reminding him. Honored customer, you've opened 99 boxes. This is the last one. Yi Xiao didn't hesitate. This time, it has to be the flower Lady Shirley wants. Sure enough, inside was a single, exquisite flower. System notification. A beautiful flower, though its purpose remains unknown. Yi Xiao picked up the flower, a faint smile curling on his lips. He turned, ready to deliver it to Lady Shirley. Meanwhile, Lady Shirley reclined in a warm bath, her voice soft as she asked her maid, Lise, do you think someone will actually find that flower for me? Lise chuckled softly and replied, Of course, my lady. With your charm, luck is always on your side. Just then, another maid hurried in, her expression anxious. My lady, there's a young man outside requesting to see you, and he has brought the flower you wanted. Lady Shirley's eyes widened in delight as she stood up abruptly. She never expected someone would actually find it. Upon seeing Yi Xiao, she wasted no time and asked, Young man, did you truly find what I was looking for? Yi Xiao smiled, presenting a small box with a slight bow. A genuine treasure for a truly beautiful lady. Please, take a look. Lady Shirley eagerly opened the box. The moment she saw the exquisite flower inside, her face lit up with joy. Looking up at Yi Xiao, she said warmly, Young man, you've done me a great favor. What kind of reward would you like? Money? Or a rare artifact? However, Yi Xiao simply shook his head and replied calmly, I'm not interested in money or artifacts. Hearing this, Lady Shirley giggled softly, her gaze playful as she said, Then, I suppose I'll have to offer myself as your reward. Yi Xiao froze, his heartbeat accelerating. He never expected Lady Shirley to say something so bold in broad daylight. Not wanting any misunderstandings, he quickly cleared his throat and stated firmly, My lady, I actually have a request. I hope you can help me obtain official citizenship. Just as Yi Xiao felt his face heating up and a nosebleed threatening to spill, a system notification popped up, ding. Due to your noble actions and exceptional charm, Lady Shirley's affection towards you has increased by plus 20 da. Lady Shirley smiled, her tone lighthearted. A mere citizenship? That's far too easy. She turned to her maid. Go prepare the documents and seal. Seizing the opportunity, Yi Xiao added, My lady, I have another request. I'm planning to purchase property in Windleaf City and settle down. Lady Shirley took the map Yi Xiao handed her and studied it carefully. Investing in real estate, choosing stability over wandering. That's a wise decision. However, as her eyes landed on the marked location, she frowned slightly. But why West District? That area isn't exactly prime real estate. Yi Xiao's expression remained firm. I've made up my mind. I want land in the West District. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could help me connect with the real estate brokers there. Seeing his unwavering determination, Lady Shirley simply nodded. Very well, I'll arrange it. Lai Hama, on the other hand, was completely baffled. Are you crazy? The East District is the wealthiest part of town. Why would you throw money away on the West District? But Yi Xiao's gaze darkened slightly. His decision wasn't without reason. In the near future, Windleaf City would face an unprecedented invasion of eerie, monstrous creatures. Under the relentless assault, the current city lord would perish, and the East District would be razed to the ground, reduced to nothing but ruins. However, the West District, due to its sparse population and lack of major attractions, would go largely unnoticed by the invading forces, suffering minimal damage. Eventually, as the city rebuilt itself, the West District would rise as the new commercial and strategic hub of Windleaf, housing critical facilities like trade centers, military bases, and academic institutions. Yi Xiao smirked inwardly. Securing the future before anyone else? That's how real profits are made. I don't make bad investments.
Guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, please leave a comment in the comment section. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Like the video and share it too. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.